Test, test. Test, 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 test. Okay. I guess I'm here. I guess it's here. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. How is everybody? I hope you're doing well. That's for sure. Actually, I don't see that there's anybody here. Bipolar said, he left a message, says this troll is another fine example of American exceptionalism. Isn't that obvious? I mean, I wouldn't call him a troll. And, I'll tell you why. And that's simply because I didn't see him going after people. But, I pity anybody that follows his channel and his advice. But you know what? We heard from him. You have to give credit where credit's due. Philippine Antics found this guy. And with that being said, I still have a ton of questions for this guy. I really do. I have like 50 questions, and maybe not 50, but I want to understand why. I don't think that's asking too much. It's just generally we want to know why. Why would he have said stuff? Now, he's admitted this. He's been honest and truthful that these were not accurate statements that he made. And I'm hoping we can have a mature, reasonable conversation. So we'll see. The other part of today is going to be the peso. And I have something kind of interesting planned for that. If you bought property or land or a condo in the past years, say 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, okay, we can do real time how much money it's possible you have lost. Because this is a problem. The stronger the dollar gets, the weaker the peso gets, this is a big issue. And I'm going to show it to you. Now, we have a full video coming out later about it, but, it'll be what it is. It'll be interesting. And good morning, Bipolar. Thanks for dropping in. Slick Rick, he's a piece of work. Indeed, he is. But let's try and understand what he's doing. Maybe it's all about the clicks, growing a channel, having another revenue stream. Who knows? Big Dave. Good morning, Dave. How are you doing? How are things up north? Dave doesn't live far from us. Dave and I have met a couple of times. Great guy. Hope you're doing well, Dave. Hope you had a nice Valentine's Day. Bruce, good morning, Bruce. Hope you're doing well. AJ, wow. Usually AJ is busy. And for him to be able to find time to join us, it's certainly appreciated. Let's see here. Mike, I saw that you were getting ready to rip him a new one the other day. I wasn't going to rip him a new one. I just wanted to just, hey, your actions have ramifications, and unfortunately, some people don't recognize when they're being misled. And that's probably what it is. AJ saying hello to Big Dave. Ricky Last. How you doing, Ricky? Nice to see you. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Heath McDaniel, good morning, evening, Southeast Tennessee. That is God's country. Beautiful, beautiful place. James Gilbert, good morning. Good morning, James. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So we will wait and see if Abel has time to join us. One of the other things we'll do is, let's see, you know what? We're going to put this up too. I'm going to put the link up. Well, I'm going to try to. Not getting anywhere with that. Copied and paste. So there's the link. If Abel shows up, great. If Mimi and Abel both show up, better. If not, then there's nothing much we can really do about it. Dave says, Doc, are you saying to expat retirees not to purchase condo? You know what, Dave? What I'm saying is that if we look at the exchange rate, it has ramifications. Now, if you can, we've said this before, the right condo at the right price for the right person, for the right reasons, for their strategy, for whatever, that's totally up to them. Right now, I would still wait. I would wait. I think we're going to see much better pricing in a year. I really do. Let the pain settle in to the developers. I mean, you may not even see better pricing, but what you may see is better incentives to purchase. You may see lower interest rates if you're getting a loan. You may see better upgrades. You may see all kinds of other things. So let's wait for the pain. I mean, isn't that kind of how it works? I guess, maybe. So one of the things that we are going to do today, or we can do today, just so everybody knows, if you're bought property, a condo, land, whatever, all right? Oh, AJ says he's having internet issues. Oh, I'm sorry, AJ. Maybe the supervisor can fix it for you. You know, he's the best, you know. Timmy Dog just lurking. Okay, Timmy, that's fine. James, doing good. Just finished getting our trip to Bangkok lined up for the 21st. Wow. Gee, I would say something, but I can't right now. We hope you have a great trip. That's for sure. We certainly do. James, are you flying out of Manila or Cebu? Where are you flying out of? Just out of curiosity. Okay, but let's get back to this. So if you bought property, whenever, and you know what the rate, if you're willing to share how much you paid for that piece of property and what the rate was when you bought that property, all right, we can literally do it right in front of you. Okay? We can plug the numbers in. That's all we need to know is the cost and the rate. And we can tell you, have I lost money? Now, can't count all the extras, obviously. All right. But we're going to do it live if anybody wants to do it. John from Charlotte, I thought you were great at getting able to go live and calling them out. You know what? I just want to understand him more. I want to understand the thought process that went through his head. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether he'll make it. They're upgrading the towers in our area, well, in the Pangasinan province areas, to be exact. Well, there's not much you can do about that, AJ. I mean, I'm sure the supervisor's happy to get out there and push them on and encourage them, but There's only so much the supervisor can even get done. Maximus, good morning, Maximus. How is life? How are things? You're back in the U.S. right now, I think, if I remember correctly. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Thanks so much for joining us, Maximus. Maximus is been around quite a while. He knows. He has a unique sense of humor that's really nice. James says, yes, flying out of Manila. So we'll be flying out. You know what? Let me just say, excuse the mess behind me, if you can see it. We're packing. We have a trip planned. And we also will be flying out, but we're flying out of Clark, and we'll see. Good day, buddy. Have you heard about the new permanent visa FIV? David, are you talking about the visa in the U.S. For students and stuff like that? Or are you talking about the foreign investment visa here in the Philippines? I mean, the foreign investment visa has been around a long time, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you could explain. Heath says, I know my property skyrocketed since 2017 when I bought here. Okay, Heath, well, that's a good example. It hasn't skyrocketed until you have cash in your hand. Until you have cash in your hand, all you have is what you bought. You got to have that cash. You've got to be able to sell it, go through the transaction. You've got capital gains, which are a totally different story. Don't compare capital gains here to capital gains in the U.S. But Heath, I understand. Only good thing about being retired is I don't have to be out in the cold anymore, so it makes winter more tolerable. Maximus, after 10 years here, I kind of miss the cold. I would love to spend a week somewhere where there's snow. James says he's staying at the Skybridge Suites. Nice, James. It's a great place. Brent, good morning, Brent. How are you? Hope things are going well. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm sure you and Miles are, I don't know. Have you been on your morning walk already, Brent? I don't know. Miles and Brent, they walk all over the place. He says that's a true statement on the cold. So anyways, let's see here. Aloha all. I'll watch later the replay this evening. Okay, AJ, you have a great day. Hope you guys do well. I really and truly do. So we're waiting on Abel to join and come in the chat. Let us know he's here. And I'll put the link back up. We'll see if anybody's interested in it. Donnie B, what's up, Mike and Arlen? Good to see you. Good to see you too, Donnie. Thanks so much for joining us. We always appreciate it. We always appreciate our viewers, our subscribers, everything else. So we've got a lot going on. We've been busy. This whole thing about the peso is really it's like a double-edged sword. It really is. And you'll see it soon. In addition to that, we've got some travel coming up. In addition to that, we've been taking care of some stuff here at the condo, getting things done. And Valentine's Day, we went out to Valentine's dinner last night. We went out to the Royce Casino, which has a buffet called all day 21 dining or something like that. And you wouldn't I think they should pick a better name. But the buffet was excellent, the service was excellent, the food was excellent. So so David Longley says, seen the Philippine P vlog yesterday saying a new foreign investment visa for Batangas. That's a little strange. Let's see here. FIV for Batangas. Okay, so yes, I see what she's talking about. The FIV has been around for a long time. However, I guess it says they're fast tracking permanent residency by investment program. Oh, because it's the Freeport area, the FAB in the Philippines has been approved for FIV residents can live, work, or study anywhere in the Philippines. The wait time is only about 1 week. Investment, so it requires a fixed deposit of 75,000 US through a FAB approved partner. There are no minimum stay, net worth, or real estate purchases. So, sort of like a SRRV. The other can add their spouse, dependent children to that with no extra investment requirements. I don't know how to really make a lot of sense out of that, but it is what it is. I mean, it'll be interesting, but you can get an SRRV permanent visa. I mean, just renew it for a lot less. And you don't, even if you don't have a military background, I think you can buy one for far less than 20,000. So we'll see. Donnie says 19 degrees here in Texas. Wow, Donnie. Whoa. Where in Texas are you, Donnie? Bruce says you can now get a permanent visa if you invest 70. Oh, yep. Yeah. So Bruce has looked it up too. He's faster than I am. All right. But I mean, Bruce, why would somebody invest 75,000 for a permanent visa? SRRV is a permanent visa. You don't renew it. You do your, I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think you do your annual report and I don't know. 75,000 sitting away in somebody else's bank, not my whole idea. Hector says had 2 inches of rain last night. Wow. Whoa, 2 inches of rain in Southern Cal. Was there any flooding, landslides, anything like that? Interesting to know. I'm going to put the link back up. Donnie says he's south of Fort Worth. Okay. I've been to Dallas many times. You never have to renew. Bruce says you never have to renew, and you can spend the money on a place to live. So they're saying that they're saying that the 75,000 doesn't go into a bank account. You could buy property worth that amount, which is, you can do that with an SRRV. Okay. So the permanent investment visa is for under 50. SRV is for over 50. Okay. Investment can include purchasing your condo. So apparently, yes, you can roll that into property as well. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. It's not something that impacts us so much. And I don't know how many under 50 folks you're going to see with 75,000 to throw at that. But hey, whatever brings people in, that's a great deal, I guess. So anyways, like I said, we're going to, we have the ability this morning, if somebody has bought property and they're willing to share with us how much they bought that property for and what the exchange rate was when they bought that property, we can real time tell you just how this 63 or 61 pesos to the dollar can hurt you. And it's government control and available anyone 18 years and above. Okay. Well, whatever they can do to bring people into the Philippines is great. I mean, growth for the Philippines is always going to be something that's reasonable. That's for sure. So we're waiting on Abel and Mimi. I had a feeling they wouldn't show up, but we'll see. Giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's for sure. But it definitely shows you. I mean, this guy says he gets like $300 a month or $450 a month. The number changes in welfare, food stamp, WIC benefits. And that's what he lives on. And, I called him out on it. And he admitted, no, he's just trolling. But is that trolling? Or is that just misinformation? Or is that an attempt to try and get more views for his channel so that he can get up on the board? Because his channel's fairly new and everything. So we're waiting on him to show up. We hope he does. There's the link if anybody else wants to cam up, and sure. JJ, the Lonely Bird. Not sure I would invest in the Philippines economy right now, especially property with the volatility of the housing market. Yeah, I would not. I would let the pain set in. I would. Better deals will be out there down the road. Let the pain set in. Let the industrial, I guess that's not the word I'm looking for, but the commercial buyers, the ones that are buying and flipping and stuff like that, all right? At some point, they're going to say, I got to get out of this if the market continues. Now, granted, I guess, if they've got deep enough pockets, they'll stay in there, but we'll see. Bruce says the peso dipped below 58 today. Yeah, last I looked, it was 57.70, I think. Let's see. What are we right now? 57.75 right now is the international spot rate. So, yes, it did go back down. The peso dipped below 58 today. You also need to consider if the property value has gone up, even when the peso is better now. It is still may have been a better deal. Oh, yeah. If you can sell the property, that's the big issue. If you can sell, there are far less high net worth people, high net worth Westerners, Australians, British, European, Americans coming to the Philippines than there were pre-COVID. The tourism numbers show it, all right? And even if they're not tourists, they get stamped in. So selling is an issue. And you've seen the reports. I mean, Collier's, one of the most well-respected real estate research firms in the world, says that it'll take 8 years. They just put this out the other day. 8 years to burn through the backlog in the NCR. So we'll see. We'll see. Hector, real estate investments and bank bonds are not allowed under special investment resident visa. That's what everyone is referring to. This one requires $75K. Special investment. Okay. Special investment. SIRV. There you go. JJ, the peso is 57.69 this morning. I haven't seen it that low since I moved here. Oh, JJ, we've seen we've seen quite a bit. Good morning, Leo. Yes, we are live. Indeed, we are. We've seen way below 57. We've seen way below 55. But we've been around a while. So there are a lot of house rich but cash poor Filipinos trying to unload their properties at ridiculous prices. They are still under the haze of hopium. I like that, hopium. Yeah, there are. There certainly are. Houses, residential markets, condos. It's a mess as far as I'm concerned. It really and truly is. There was an article in I think it was the Manila Times yesterday, about how the size of condos is consistently dropping. I mean, even as reporting from the Philippines, in the Philippines, by a Philippine journalist in a Filipino newspaper, they're complaining about their term, shoebox size condos. So BT says, want to see my build? I'm at the lot. Howdy, howdy. Hey, BT, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Valentine's. BT, you need to put that into your channel so we can all see it. That would be interesting. So let me put this link back up. Let me see if Abel and Mimi are in the background, maybe. Who knows? They could be. But I think what it does do is it shows you how unreliable expat information is and can be. And then it also shows you that they purposefully misrepresent it. So, wow, BT, I'm gonna have to go over and take a look at those. Thanks. James says, he said he and his lady friend pay their rent, food, and bills, plus party every night. If you live here, you know that's BS. Yeah. And the other thing, he then later said that he actually spends, honestly, he said he was being a troll and we took it hook, line, and sinker, and that he actually spends 75,000 pesos a week is what he really said. Paul Rogers. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Hi, Mike. Always enjoy your videos. We'll try and cam up, but last time I just can't do it. Do enjoy. People don't have to cam up at all. You're more than welcome. I mean, just hang in there, watch, comment. Nobody needs to cam up. Pau is joining, but his cam is not on. And we have a rule here. if your camera's not on, you don't get on. We are not like a lot of others. We want to know who we're talking to. We want to see them. And we'll go from there. So, okay. Paul, you're going to have to turn your camera on. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you are, Paul. And let's see. There you are, Paul.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, but tally ho to you, Mike. If I get disconnected again, I'll just leave because I'll bore your subscribers to death. But very interesting topic. Probably, I don't know if you can hear me well, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you can. Okay, so I just
Yeah. There we go. So either way you look at it, the guy was putting out misinformation. How many people are going to follow that and think, oh, I can live like that. I can get a girl like that. I can live like that for $450 a month. Then they're going to get over here and it's going to be a disaster, an absolute disaster. And Heath, yes, you're correct. When their own people are calling it a shoebox, that's pretty bad. So we'll have to just wait and see, find out what's going on. I'm going to let Paul go. Paul,
okay.
Thanks so much for dropping in.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come back over here. We're going to put the link up so we know it works. All right. So Adele and Mimi, if you're out there, come on in. Come on in, say something. I mean, we'll have a very, very civil conversation. We won't, it's not going to be, this is not meant to be a bloodbath. It's meant to more understand why you did what you did. Wow. 71 people in the room. That's great. We really appreciate it. JJ says too much gaslighting by expats in the Philippines. I think there's a bunch of it, JJ, everywhere. I really do. I wonder if we spent as much time and energy watching American blogs if we wouldn't find the same thing, or Australian or British. I just don't know. Bruce says, when I first started going to the PI back in 98, the peso was bouncing around 40 to 45 as far as I can remember. But that dollar is only worth about 60 cents to today's dollar. Yeah. So let's see here. Let's you know what, Bruce? Let's use what you're saying as an example. Watch this. Okay. Let's say that in 99, you were paying 45 pesos to the dollar. Okay. You bought a 10 million peso property. You would have spent $222,222.22. That's odd. Okay. But at today's rate, which was, what did we say it was? We said it was 57 point, Let's just look it back up here. 57.75. All right. Now that 222 that you spent back in 98 is only $173,000. That's a 22% loss, or $49,062. So if you could sell your property for even what you paid for it, you would have lost $49,000. And that's before we even consider the time value of money, what we could have gotten in the market, what we could have done in other situations. That's devastating. So imagine what's going to happen. All right. Imagine what happens if the rate, say, goes to 61. Now it's a $58,000 loss. You got to make up $58,000 to break even. So you're going to have to sell that property at a minimum of 13 million versus 10 just to break even. And this is not what happened to Bruce. I'm not saying that, but Bruce said that's what the peso was back in the day. All right. At that point in time, when he was around. So, yeah, this could be a big deal. Oh, well, you know what, Bruce? It's possible. That's very possible. But again, Bruce, and no disrespect, I don't mean this rudely, you got to have that money in hand until that deal is completed, until the money's in hand. You haven't made anything. Now, the other thing you've got to do is you've got to figure, wait, I got to put 6 or 6.5% capital gains. Now, obviously, you're going to roll that 6.5%, okay, into the selling price to make up for it. But again, you got to get that amount just to break even. And I'm not saying don't buy property. All right. We own property. We own a house. We own a condo. We own vehicles. But they're for personal use. And with all of that being said, there's a time and a place. The right condo for the right person at the right time at the right price. Those things. Sonny G, good morning, Sonny. Hi, Mike. According to Philippine demographics, there are over 600,000 Americans living in the Philippines, almost double from pre-pandemic. I would think property prices would stay up. Well, if property prices are going to stay up, they got to sell, and they are not doing it. Now, again, location. It's all going to make a big deal. BT says when he first came here, it was 23 pesos to the dollar. Bruce, not looking to sell, just looking at what I could buy the property for today. Even a motivated seller wants to double the price. Yeah, oh no, Bruce. Bruce, you're absolutely correct. You would think after 20 years, you would want to, double at least, actually more than double. And you have to take into account you've lived for free, you haven't paid rent, all of those things. But most people are not going to find, like I said, there are exceptional deals everywhere. Problem is, many of us are not exceptional people. We don't get those exceptional people. Maximus says, BT, when was it 23? 1987. Wow. Tim Dziak. Good morning, Tim. How are you doing? Hope you had a great Valentine's. So, gonna paste this in here real quick. All right. So, Abel, Mimi, cam up. Come talk to us. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried. We're not going to be rude. Okay. We're not one of those channels that wants to, beat you up and everything else. We just want to understand. And I think, that presents some information to our viewers. Tim says when he moved to the Philippines, the rate was 38 pesos to the dollar. 111, condo price fluctuations likely won't be as worried if they're intending to. Yes, without a doubt. Buying property, buying a condo, if it's for your personal stuff, that you're going to be in there, that's when stuff starts to make sense. It really and truly does. But at the same time, you have to look way down the road, figure out where you're going to go. But if you're like Bruce and you're going to be here 20 years, all right, well, at that point, if you doubled your money, if you actually got it, okay, then you're out ahead of the game. So, let's see here. What else is going on? 42 minutes. We're going to, at the 1 hour mark, we'll move on to some other stuff because if Abel isn't here by then, he just won't be. Maybe he and his beautiful partner went out last night and drank a little bit, and they're sleeping in. Or could be has no intention of showing up to answer. 111. By the way, happy Valentine's Day to those special someone. Happy Single Awareness Day for those confirmed bachelors. There you go. Single Awareness Day. Is that actually a thing? Is there such a thing as Single Awareness Day? Well, I don't know. I've never heard of it. But I'm married, so I wouldn't hear of it. Tim says, don't plan on a condo as an investment. No, I would not. I would not consider it an investment. Okay? We had reasons for buying a condo. We had reasons for buying a condo in Angeles. We had reasons in the purchase. The deal itself was reasonable, actually better than reasonable. And let's see here. Assign BT. And guess one. BT and Betty. How you doing, BT?
Hey, I'm gonna change this place the other way so I can give y'all a walk around.
Okay. Show us your bill.
Let's see how it works. I don't know how it works. Facing back, facing front. See if that works. Nope.
Nope.
Let's try to.
Lost your audio. Lost BT.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me? So this is my fence I'm putting up right now. Well, I'm not because I'm not able to, but my boys are. And this is 240 square meters.
Okay.
That's what my house is going to be in the middle of that.
Nice.
And it's going to be nice, yeah. So we're getting down to the big beams over here. They're doing the final big beams. That's going to be connected to my garage because they're so big.
All right.
And they're going to be 240 square meters. So we're getting down to the big beams over here. They're doing the final big beams. That's going to be connected to my garage because they're so big. 'Cause they're so big. and I'm gonna have an observation deck upstairs. Hey, these mango trees. See all these mango trees?
Yeah,
They
Arlen will
all
go
got to come
crazy.
down. They're like 30 years old. Look at all this lumber he's cutting.
Wow.
They
Arlen
all
would
got to come
go,
down because, I mean, some people don't cut them down, but most people's going to cut them down. But yeah, this is my build. I got like hey, I've got like 8 videos already just on building this fence.
well, we'll
If you
have
want
to
to
go
check them
look.
out, guys.
So for people that don't know BT and Betty, all right, subscribe to his channel, go and take a look at it. He's going
Yeah,
to be
it's
documenting
got
his whole build.
it's a playlist in there that says our house build. So it's got like 8 already, and this today I'm going to do the final on this. Then we're going to take a break because I got to buy a bunch of material up. I'm not doing this all at once. I can't afford it. I'm on a budget.
Hey,
But
aren't we all?
but yeah, I'm doing the fence now, and then I'm going to buy some stuff next month, and then wait a month after that. I'll probably go ahead and start doing my inside stuff, septic tanks and stuff like that, and my columns for inside. But this is it, and I've got a video on every bit of it, uh, like 8 of them I think so far, and there'll be more
Cool.
later.
Great.
So I thought I'd come up and share it with you since y'all are talking about housing and stuff.
Yeah.
this this is what it takes. But I come out
Wow.
here every day just to make sure that everything's going the right way. I'm an old build. I used to build back in states. I was a contractor in states. I built log cabins.
Wow.
Of course,
Nice.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot of concrete too.
Well,
Done a lot of concrete
I can't
myself. So
I can't let Arlen see this. All those mango trees, no fences. She'd be wanting
yeah.
to drive up there and steal everybody's mangoes. She
Well,
loves
the
pulling
kids
mango.
come by. I love them too, man. The kids come by and they'll sell them to me, and I'll buy 'em. The kids anyway, I thought I'd stop in and do that, and maybe some of you guys go and check it out. It's gonna be a year-long thing because I can't afford to do everything at one time.
No, there's
but
nothing wrong with that.
but
Nothing wrong
this
at
lumber,
all.
I showed you that lumber over there, that mango lumber. They make some beautiful tables out of that, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them to make me some tables and stuff. And that look, and so much lumber, they have so much lumber stacked up at the mill over there. But they do this by hand, a chainsaw, and they cut the lumber out of it. It's
Nice.
amazing. Watch. Okay, guy. I'll see
All
you
right.
later.
Thanks, BT. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
man.
There we go. Well, thank you, BT. Thank you for sharing. All right. And looks like your build is getting on down there, and you're looking good. BT had a little health scare, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago. And he's looking great. And I'm glad to see that he's good and healthy and everything that's going on. Brew Meister, how you doing, Brew? Nice to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope your day's going well. He says, nice. I like real log cabins. Yeah, I do too. We used to see a lot of that back in North Carolina, a lot of it up in the mountains. But they were expensive. I mean, a high end custom log cabin in the mountains of North Carolina cost you a pretty penny, really and truly would. But they were nice. All right, so we're gonna put this back up. All right, so if anybody wants to cam up, they certainly can. If Abel and his partner Mimi are around, come join us. Come talk to us, Abel. Let's see what's going on. We've got questions, and we would love to get some answers, or at least to get some insight as to what's going on. That's for sure. So what else would you guys like to talk about while we wait on Abel and Mimi to show up? Bum, bum, bum. Whoop. What is a glockenspiel? Okay. Eh. That'd be good, but you know what? Abel and Mimi are not here yet. So BT says, yeah, I used to build log cabins, a lot of big ones. Wow. I'm not a builder. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not. I have a lot of respect for craftsmen, woodworkers, even like plumbers, electricians. I mean, people that work with their hands and they do all of that stuff. They make the world go round, and it's a skill I just don't have. I never have had it. But either way, so what happens when these YouTubers put out misinformation? Do you think that people will see Abel and Mimi's videos and say, oh, he's living on food stamps. I can get food stamps in the Philippines. And he's living on WIC. I can get WIC in the Philippines. I can go for $350 or $400 a month. I mean, do you think people will actually believe that shit? I don't know. He says he is a steel structure iron worker. Wow. You know, Heath, were you one of those guys that goes way up the buildings and stuff like that? Or like welding and stuff like that. So who are those people? So it's Abel and Mimi, and you can look them up. All right. I would plug them a little harder if they'd show up, but Abel and Mimi, and he's a young guy in his mid 30s, he says. All right. They live in the Davao area. Say they live in tribal land, which is sort of like indigenous. But I'm not going to get into that until they show up because I've got questions about it. But he has a video that says, we live on 450. Now, Antics called them out. I joined a live stream with Antics. Abel came on and his partner, Mimi. All right. And turned around and he finally admitted that he was just trolling people, that none of it was true. So that's who they are. Tim, I've never heard of food stamps. No, there's no food stamps in the Philippines, and there's no WIC. That's women, infant, and children. There's none of that. And if you're a foreigner, even if there was, you wouldn't qualify for it. You really and truly wouldn't. Can't see living on food stamps. At first, what I thought was he had one time lived in the U.S., qualified for food stamps and WIC. And while this isn't uncommon, these people would get their stuff. And then if you got like $400 worth of food stamps, they'd sell them for $200 cash. But he says that wasn't the case, but I would wonder. Heath says 78-story in Chicago was my last job, walking beams. Wow, Heath. I mean, you put me 25 feet over the ground. It's funny. I can be in a plane, look down, I'm fine. But heights make me a little queasy to bounce. I guess it's because I have a hard time balancing. And so that's the issue. My disability makes it hard to balance. But 78 stories, I can't see it. But that's who Abel and Mimi are. And if that's the case, how many dumb people are going to say, oh, I can go there on my $1,000 a month Social Security, and live like a king. Because this guy says they eat, they party. He's all the time drinking Red Horse. You know, how many people are going to believe him? You worry about it. And you should be worried about it. I mean, there are a ton of good vloggers here in the Philippines, and apparently there are quite a number of bullshit. And that's just the way it is. Can't do any high stuff. I have vertical. You know, just because somebody's opinion or their thoughts or their experiences even are different than yours doesn't make them bullshit. All right? They live a different lifestyle. They live a different way. They have different idea. All right? But when you purposefully misrepresent or embellish the truth, then, that's a problem. Let me see here. Family trade, third generation. Wow, Heath. BT has vertigo. Heath, I hope people didn't believe he's on food stamps and WIC. He said he was. I guarantee you somebody's going to believe it. Len Lund, open the door to the plane, see if you feel okay. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't. We're going to put the link back up here. So, Abel, Mimi, are you in the background? Are you out there? Come on and join us. BT says, how can anyone live here without an income? I don't know. I really and truly don't know. There are people that claim they live on 600 pesos, $600 a month. There are people that claim they live on $1,000 a month. I guess you can live on anything as long as it's what you want. And I guess what I'm saying is your idea of living, satisfied living, is different than other people's. There are people that are satisfied living in a bamboo hut with dirt floors, cooking over wood, and they're happy with that. Or they say they're happy with that. Okay? But I think there are a lot of people that would disagree. Tim says, BT, they won't live long. Juan, YouTube expat grifters are doing such a disservice to the community. We can only hope some of these people do their due diligence. Yeah, you would hope it. You would hope people will do. Maximus, Barry Jordan lives in the detention center in Mandawi. Yeah, what is the deal, Maximus? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the story behind Frank Battaglia, and I don't know the story behind Barry Jordan. If you want to expand on that, feel free. Heath says $600 a month can be really rough conditions. Yeah. Tim says lifestyle is different. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Tim. Some people, what makes some people happy works for others and doesn't work for others. And you have to decide what that is. I mean, we have a very nice home in Mindanao in a small town. But I couldn't live there. I just couldn't. I mean, if I had to, I could exist, but I wouldn't call it a retired living. Maximus, Barry Jordan has been living in the Mandawi detention for almost 2 years. Yeah, I like I said, Maximus, I don't know the backstory to all of that. I really don't. I know that there's all kinds. You know what? I don't know. I really don't know the backstory to that, Maximus. Bruce says, I see people sleeping on the sidewalk and bathing in the gutter and begging for a few pesos so they can eat. They usually look dirty, ragged, and have their hand out. That's how you live cheap. Yeah. And we see that in every country. There are the poor and destitute in every country. But if you had a choice, would you live that way? Bipolar pun. Hey, bipolar. Barry Jordan was doing a live stream and pulled a big knife on the waitress. He recorded it for the. Wow. Is that why they snatched him up? Maximus says Barry was a 7-year overstayer and kept calling Frank names. Frank got immigration to pick up Barry from his hiding place and also put charges of slander on him, so he has to stay until adjudicated. Wow. Man, they sound like kind of like trouble. Maybe this guy got his Social Security canceled recently, like you said, because he's out of the USA. I did see this happening now. Well, you know what? All right, so I'm going to take a minute to discuss this. Barry will be deported after his court case is done. He says minimum I have to have is AC and hot water. Yeah. So there's a blogger, and I'm not going to mention names. There's a vlogger out there, and he has a large following. And he talks about being responsible and being a man and doing this and that. And the other day, he puts out a video that says, I dread going back to America. Then he goes on to say, all of his IDs are expired. The only current ID he has is an ACR card. Okay? And he didn't mention whether it's a tourist or a permanent resident ACR card. All right? He said his passport's expired and he's got to get that taken care of. He said his bank cards are expired. He's got to go back and take care of some stuff. You know what? How do you look at this guy, follow his advice when he's doing everything wrong? When you don't take responsibility, when you don't, now he owns up to the issue. He admits it's his fault. He does all of this. All right. But what kind of bullshit is that? 7-day overstay. Jesus. Yeah. Dickie. How are you, Dickie Spaz? Thanks for dropping in. Hey, Mike, we have properties in Bacolod and Bago City. Land only with utilities and access in Bago City's 4.2 million pesos for 600 square meters. Undeveloped properties in Bacolod. Wow. So that's where it sits there. He says, I know who. Maximus says, Sunshine's been going home for a while now, so he gets assistance from his subs. Yeah, must be nice. What can I say? I can't be that irresponsible. I just can't. Dickie Spaz, who's that, Geth? Old dog? No, not old dog. Maximus, he can renew his passport in Manila at the U.S. Embassy. I don't know about that, Maximus. Can you renew an expired passport? I think you have to get issued a new passport. I don't. If I some reason that's sticking in the back of my mind, all right, that might be a problem. His license. Okay. Dickie says Sunshine Skimmer. Yeah, I don't watch him, but I saw, uh, a thumbnail about I dread going back to America, and I'm like, who's afraid to go back to America? He did everything wrong, so we don't have to. It's possible. He did leave children behind without paying child support. He did have child with two different Filipino women. I think he, but I don't know. Maybe he's a great guy. I don't know. Maximus, he should have transferred his U.S. license for a Philippine license after 3 months. Yes, you're absolutely right, Maximus. He should have. That's what we did. Okay? We just simply transferred our U.S. driver's license to a Philippine driver's license. He should be able to renew because he will need a valid passport. Yeah, that's the part I didn't understand, but okay. Bipolar says in Canada, you can renew expired passport for 10 years. Then you have to go through the full process. I think in the U.S., you can't renew an expire. You have to apply for an all new one if your passport's. But you know what? It's been 20 years since I've looked at it, so who knows? I know I've got to renew my passport next year. Maximus says his passport not yet expired. Well, but he said it was expired. He said it was expired. So I don't know. Maybe he's working with the, he's going to go to Manila, get a temporary. I don't know how it works. I really and truly don't. But again, he's a successful YouTuber. And with that being the case, people follow him, people take his advice, and they get screwed. No need to reapply for a new one. There you go. Maximus looked it up, I guess, if it's less than a year. He says, my passport is new as of 2024. I keep track of that. Maximus says you can renew and they will give him a new passport book. Yeah, there you go. Michael Atos, how are things in the Oval Office? Are you having a Diet Coke and a Big Mac and fries? Isn't that what Trump likes? Or is it a quarter pounder? I can't remember. All right. While you're there, maybe you could change some of the Medicare laws about getting Medicare to at least pay the Medicare rate for stuff that expats have to get done outside the country. That's what I want you to do, Michael. Okay? So we're going to put this back up. I see now it's been an hour and Abel and Mimi have not shown up. Now, maybe they're on a live stream somewhere else. I don't know. I have no idea who else is doing live streams right now. It's Saturday morning. Everybody and their brother does live streams. Let's see here. Antics has got a live stream going. Hi, Heidi and George. How you doing? Shout out to them. That's the only one that I see, but I don't subscribe to Sunshine, so who knows? Michael says he's smoking a cigar with an intern. Yeah, you better watch that DNA, Michael. 111. I would think any traveler would run into issues with immigration if you hand over an expired passport to be stamped. Sunshine should sort that out first before trying to leave. Yeah, he's got to get an exit clearance. He's got to get an ECC. Maximus says the U.S. Embassy can also give him a purple temporary emergency passport if he needs to leave pronto and cannot wait in the Philippines for his blue passport. You know what? That's true. That's very true. James says, yes, you can renew your passport in Manila if it's not expired by mail through the embassy. If it's expired, you'll need an appointment. There you go. California Bear, good morning, CB. Thanks for dropping in. Josh Lowell, why hasn't anyone written a movie script where an expat moves to the Philippines, marries a woman, only to find out she has 6 kids and her whole family? I saw that guy's video. I saw his YouTube video where turned out, the guy, she had 6 kids. He thought she had none. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You would think after 6 kids, you would notice a few stretch marks. I mean, come on. Michael says, Sunshine on My Shoulders is like the national anthem of the Philippines. He could always report the passport was lost or stolen, then he'll be given travel documents to go to the States. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's all kinds of ways. But my point is, why are we listening to this guy as a reliable source? He's, you know what? Maybe he is. All right? Maybe he is. That's all I can say. She covered them stretch marks very well. Apparently, but who knows? But you do understand my point. So let's see here. All right. So Arlene and I, where were we going yet? Oh, we were leaving and heading. Where were we going? Was it yesterday? I guess it was yesterday. Arlene and I were leaving. And maybe it was day before yesterday. I can't remember. So Arlene and I were leaving our condo building. And as we're driving down the street about 100 yards, who do I see? Sick grandpa. All right. Big shot travel. Apparently, I don't know if he's still here. Apparently, he was staying here at Candy. All right. What an interesting man. That's the best I can say. Welcome to Planet Dirt. If the peso will fall to 63, that's catastrophic for food imports to the Philippines. Yes, it'll be a big problem. It's going to be a problem. But expats that have bought property face a far, far bigger problem. Michael says the lady with 6 kids was re-sleeved with ham and bone removed. Okay. Maximus says, was that the simp in Behold City that Geo interviewed? I can't remember where the guy was. Brewers fam says, I stopped listening to Sunshine. I don't agree with his moral compass. You know, Brewer, it takes every kind of individual out there to make the world go round. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. You know, I don't have, I shouldn't, I don't know. You know, there's a part that I can't do. My God, what does 63 peso to the dollar do to the Philippine national debt? Well, it hurts. it hurts them a lot. All right. There's not a lot of talk out there about how even like I said, I don't think the peso is going to get to 63. I think the government will step in. Do I see the peso maybe hitting 62 this year? Okay, I can buy that. I'll agree with it. Do I think it'll probably level out at 61? I think that's more likely. But even at 61, the disaster that happens is just unreal. Like I said, if you've bought property in the past 5 years or more, and you're willing to share how much you spent and what the exchange rate was when you bought that property, we will real time plug it in and see what the percentage loss on your US dollars is going to be. Now, I did not set this up. I'm sorry. I did not set this up, and I'm not gonna on the British pound. I didn't set it up on the Australian dollar or New Zealand or whatever. Let's see. Maximus says, married her even with all the rest. Wow. I don't get it. Michael says, sunshine reminds me of an aluminum siding sales working from the horse track. That's funny. Sounds like that wanker's channel, Jim and Dexel. Her family gonna send him home broke. I don't watch them. I have no idea who they are. But Calvin just comes across as a sex crazed 62-year-old who acts like a 13-year-old who just discovered that wool. Wow. Yeah, I think the only reason Sunshine's going home is because he wants to open up a U.S. bank account to deposit his Social Security. He's going to take his Social Security at 62 and a half, and he wants to sign up for it there. How about, Sunshine, we be honest about it? James says, I don't think the peso will see 60. It's possible, James. You know what? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Dexel and Jim is another lesson learned for expats that do not follow. I don't know them. What's the story with them? Grocery prices would be unaffordable for most people here. Dexel and Jim changed his channel name. Okay. GD. Wow. Thank you for joining, GD. I didn't know that, Maximus. I guess didn't know that. Was this a couple and now they had a channel and now they're broke up, or I I don't follow relationship drama. Okay, I really don't. I don't have any drama here with my relationship, and I certainly don't see a reason to watch somebody else's relationship drama. Now, being stupid or something like that, yeah, once in a while I'll tune into that. I mean, you have to admit, YouTube is a bit of entertainment. Asian Adventures with Jim is Dexel and Jim's new channel. So is Dexel no longer with Jim? I don't know. The link is there. Abel, come on, please. I really have questions for you. I bet you're lurking back there. I really do. But maybe not. Maybe not. So let me see here. Okay. All right. So peso hitting 61 even is a horrible situation for a lot of people. I mean, we've already seen a lot of inflation. I just saw that the Japanese government is releasing rice out of their strategic reserve because of not having enough rice. I think we're going to see a lot of change or a lot of activity going on in Southeast Asia this year. I know this much. I would not be buying property unless it was 30 cents on the dollar and it was exceptional. And I would just wait for the pain. Absolutely wait for these people. GD, I'm only 75 minutes late. You're never late, GD. Nobody's late. Nobody's late. Asian Adventure with Jim is good to watch, learn from his big mistakes. Oh. So Maximus says he built a $80,000 US dollar house. I like watching travel escapes there. JJ says, I'm going back to Manila to renew my passport. I can mail it in and I can keep extending my visa by showing a copy of my passport renewal documents. Yeah, certainly you can, JJ. I mean, couldn't you do that? I think you're in Thailand or on your way to Thailand soon. You're in, I think, Vietnam or Cambodia, something like that now. You're couldn't you do that in Thailand? Jim now realizes he made a mistake and will walk away from his losses. Well, at least he, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And we've said this before. Don't put a dime into the Philippines that you're not willing to walk away from. Don't, I mean, I get it. There are people out there that used a sizable amount of their savings and retirement funds and stuff, and they have and they don't want to walk away from that asset, or they're personally attached to that asset. But at some point, you have to poop or get off the pot. Maximus, but you never know. He might go back to her because he might be a glutton for punishment. So then this is a couple that broke up after he built a house. 65 watching, CB says. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you, CB. Thank you for mentioning that. Dickie says, shortage of family practice doctors in Phoenix. Hard to get an actual. Really? Wow. I mean, I had a practice in Phoenix for 40 years, 30 years. I'm sorry. And there's no shortage of family prac guys then. I wonder what happened. Gee, I'm sorry, Dickie. Michael Atos, expats need to be worried about the U.S. dollar value. It's been propped up with government spending and credit. If the peso is falling to the dollar is next to devalue. I don't think so. How does that make sense? Michael, I don't understand. If the peso is falling to the dollar, then the dollar is next to devalue. I don't know. Josh says, I'm in the States. My electric bill for the month of January was $400, $390. Yeah. Is that because of heating? Well, it must be because of heating because of the time of year. That's definitely not good going to the Federal Reserve over on their rice. Yeah, they're going to their national, like we have a strategic petroleum reserve. We have a strategic wheat reserve. We have a strategic, a couple different. They have a strategic, and I'm sure they have others, but they have a strategic rice reserve in Japan, and they're releasing rice from it. So Maxim says his $80,000 house has no proper access to the roadway, and in the middle of family property, he has to walk into the property using a dirt road. Well, that sucks. Don't you think he would have planned that out just a little bit? Midlife escape. Hey, thanks for dropping in. After my visit to the Philippines and enjoyed it very much, but reminded me how far ahead. Yeah, Thailand's infrastructure is way ahead of the Philippines. However, Thailand's taxation issues are coming to a head. They don't want retirees over there. They want high dollar spenders. Josh says peanuts. Ours is $600 to $700 monthly, June through. Yeah, Dickie, I can remember I had 5,200 square feet, Dickie. And when I was married and had a kid, my electric bill was $1,200 a month, June, July, August. Because it starts hitting 100 degrees every day in April. JJ says, I'm in Vietnam, but my 90-day visa is expired and I won't have enough months left on my passport to get another 90-day visa. Philippines is more. Oh, there you go. That makes sense. Maximum, I think Jim enjoys the punishment. I can't get that. I've watched expats panic when the peso goes down, buy a bunch of pesos. They'd be smarter to keep most of their funds in the U.S. online banking account earning a high interest. Yeah, that's what we do. I'm just going to say, without a doubt. As great as JJ says, as great as Bangkok is, they only have one office in the entire city that does visa extensions. Oh. Most expats don't have enough money to make a high yield. Dickie's right about that. Dickie is right. Jack C., have you ever wanted to go up to Ace Bachelor Cool when he's making a video and just give him a wet willy? Nah, there's no way I'm putting my finger in Ace Bachelor Cool's ear. That is not going to happen. It just never crossed my mind, Jack. It hasn't. The U.S. dollar is the world trade currency. If Japan or China sell off Treasury notes, the dollar will collapse. Perhaps. Michael, as of August 2024, China owned $768 billion of U.S. debt, making it the second largest foreign holder of U.S. debt. Japan is the largest holder of U.S. debt. Let them hold the debt. As long as we make the payments, who cares? Trump's been hoovering up gold since he took office. I read a story in the press here about shortages on the London bullion markets and private planes loaded with gold bars heading to the U.S. I haven't seen anything about that. Taxation issue has always been there in Thailand. U.S. has tax treaty, no issue that I have noticed. No, the taxation issue in Thailand is on income. It's going to be on income and what they consider income. So over 180 days, supposedly effective March 1st, once you reach that 180 days, they want to tax every dollar you bring into Thailand. Whether they'll pass that, who knows? You know what? My suggestion, Integrity Legal. I watch them. They do a great synopsis of stuff. He's a U.S. citizen, Thai citizen. He used to be on the state Supreme Court. He's a licensed attorney in the United States and in Thailand. and he lives in Thailand. Take a look at him. As of November, Japan owned 1.9 trillion in U.S. debt, making it the largest foreign holder. Okay. Jack's just having some fun. Vietnam is exploding with expats. It's a new hotspot from what I'm noticing. Could be. Let it be. Let it be. You know, makes no difference to me. How do you survive without? You know what, Jack? My love, you learn how to make it yourself. My wife makes some of the best carnitas I've eaten. Now we have to order certain things. We have to order certain times. We have to order certain jalapenos. We have to order some other stuff. But once we do that, she makes great tortillas and she makes great carnitas. Her enchilada sauce comes from a can. Sorry. Thailand won't tax your retirement income. We'll see what they do. We will see what they do. Okay, Mark Twain. Josh says, Mark Twain said, if you don't follow the news, you're not informed. If you follow the news, you're misinformed. Yeah. Isn't that the honest truth? Isn't that the honest truth? You know, it is, it really is an issue. And you don't know who's telling you the truth. And, you know, just like I'm going to always tell you the truth, but who's to say the information that I got was correct? All right. You know, sometimes you have to go with what's going on. I saw an expat explode yesterday. I mean, not like physically explode, JJ, right? You know, I mean, he didn't like burst into guts and grit and everything else. There you go, hey, Phil, good morning. Has plenty of good Mexican. Phil, it's okay Mexican. All right. Now, I will tell you, it's called Gold Coast over by Bellissimo. They have great birria tacos and some other side that are great. Okay. I prefer Tequila Reef over Amigos, but that's just that might just be because of me. All right. Because they're good. There is a Mexican place up on Clark that does great Mexican. In fact, I really tried to get Arlen. I had a doctor's appointment to go over my lab work and get a clearance to fly. Not that I needed it, but you know. And I tried to get Arlen to go early enough that we could stop up there on Clark at that Mexican place, but we didn't make it. So it's on the list for later. Hector says, you said once that you love olives. The Syrian vlogger in the Phils showed a Middle Eastern store in Manila selling gigantic fresh olives, presumably imported in. Yeah, but I do love olives, but not enough to drive to Manila to get them. He says, yeah, but some news is misinformation. It is. Jack says, explode would imply he blew up from the inside. There you go, Max. Explosive diarrhea. Thailand has already said they won't tax retirement. They're after high earners. We will see, JJ. We will see. Jack C says, I'm very particular about my Mexican food. Many Mexicans in Chicago, and we have some excellent, yes, you do. You absolutely do. And you have some excellent steakhouses in Chicago. James just says olives aren't hard to get here. No, they're not. They're not. Iguana Restaurant has good. Is Iguana still open? I heard they were closed. I heard they've been closed for a while. Did they reopen? I don't know. JJ says, I have yet to find good Mexican food in the Southeast Asia. Dill pickles I can't find. We see dill pickles, Vlasic dill pickles at S&R all the time. Maximus says, you cannot eat fresh olives. It has to be pickled. Yeah. Be like, what's everyone reasoning for choosing Philippines over other Southeast Asian countries? Well, ours is pretty simple, okay? My wife's family. If it weren't for my wife and her family, I'd be in Thailand. I'd have a golden visa, and that's just the bottom line. But that's me. There you go. Phil says, it depends on Phil. Otherwise, you can stay in Chi-Town. Yeah, pickled olives, not bottled. I miss good steak from Chicago and deep dish pizza. I have never been a big fan of deep dish pizza. I like the thin and crispy. I really do. Michael says, Ipar's restaurant, Ibar de Topas, in Cebu's great Spanish restaurants by Robinson's Mall. There you go. Philippines is one of the few countries in Asia that use olive oil and olives in their food. Tim says, Iguana moved down to Friendship. I'm going to put the link back up. If Abel and Mimi are around, please do join us. JJ, it's because the old guys can get the young clams. Josh says, I like fishing. You can tell me if fishing with a pole is possible. Yes, it's possible. It's not something that comes up a lot. But yes, it's absolutely possible. In fact, there you go, have a nice day, is well acquainted with one of the charters. It's my wife. That's where I'm in. So, Maximus, if you look, if you're in YouTube and you type in Abel and Mimi, they'll come up. And this guy said he was living on food stamps, WIC, on $300, $400 a month, and that they lived great and that they have a great place and they party and drink all the time. And personally, we went on Philippine Antics, was doing a live stream and brought him on. So we went on and we called him out. And they called him out too. I mean, Heidi called him out. And he admitted, no, I was lying. My video's lying. It's just bullshit. I'm just trolling people. So, in the meantime, you turn around, and I invited him, and he said he had the spare time to join us in our live stream day, because I have a lot of questions as to why. But I guess they may not get answered. I found the story about the gold and silver being flown in the U.S. It's on commercial planes from London to New York. It's traders hedging against tariffs. My bad. It's 2 a.m. Hey, who knows? You know what? Don't worry. We all make errors. I make more than enough to make up for yours. Trust me. Life in the Philippines is there are charter fishing boats in Iloilo. Great fishing. Good deal. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen in the Philippines? 6 people on a 125cc scooter. That's pretty stupid. You know what? I could list a lot of things. I've seen drunk men doing stupid stuff. BT says he fishes in the ponds around here with a pole and an earthworm all the time. Mimi and Abel channel, is it? Maybe it's called Mimi and Abel instead of Abel and Mimi. I don't know, but that's their names, and their names are in it. So that may be it, Maximus. Fishing poles are fine here. You just need to pick the right area to fish. Palawan has good fishing. Also, North Subic has good fishing. There's 4 or 5 good freshwater lakes in Luzon. There you go. Jack C. 2 old foreigner fighting each other in public. Old grandpas fighting is hilarious. Who knows? Funniest thing I ever saw was a family of 7. Oh, wow. 7 on a scooter? I've seen 6. I've never seen 7. What's up with that guy, Ace Bachelor? Cool. Hard to get cringe vibe, but somehow he manages with his videos. Is it all an act for YouTube? I've met Ace Bachelor Cool on multiple occasions. He's always been pleasant to me. He has a different niche, so we don't have much in way of common in what we do YouTube wise. He's a single guy. I'm married. His life is that of a single guy. I'm married, and that's my life. Mimi looks smashable. Yeah, I gotta admit, she's not a bad looking. She doesn't seem to be hard on the eyes. That's for sure. A Carabao with a cart looking through the drive-through. Never seen a Carabao going through the drive-through. That would have been funny. But you know what, Maximus? She is skinny. She is too skinny for my taste. Second funniest thing was seeing 2 70-year-old expats fighting outside. I just, that was ridiculous. That whole thing was. Maximus, in the province, they put wooden wings on. Yeah, we see that all the time. When we're down in Mindanao at our province home, we see it all the time. It's not uncommon for us at all to see that. Not at all uncommon. And they use it for transporting people, transporting families, transporting goods, the whole 9 yards. James says, I rode on top of a jeepney once. It was pretty funny. Wow, James, you have more guts than I do. When you receive your bills, is it through the mail? Do you write out a check to pay your electric, cable, internet, credit card? So, Josh, I don't have any. Everything in the U.S. is handled by direct bill pay through. I get them through email, and we just pay them online in the U.S. Here, we don't have any. I mean, the condo that we bought, the building that we're in, it meters the electric. It sends us the electric company comes by, reads the meters, marks down for each unit, and we just pay at the front desk every month. The rest of the stuff is by hand. Like, for instance, I didn't get a notification until 3 days before our car insurance was up for renewal. So and that's actually something we had to take care of this week. That you're talking about bills, that's something we actually had to take care of this week. We had to get our car inspected. We had to get ORCR. All right. Then we had to physically go pay our car insurance because the ORCR, you're going to get liability insurance. But for comprehensive, we carry a separate policy. So we went there to pay that, and we just pay cash. It's the simplest thing to do. My girlfriend has told me Shabu is everywhere in Cebu, and the people want to do 30 back. I don't know what that means. I mean, there's drugs everywhere in the Philippines. Jax, I got to check out this Mimi. I'm stuck in the U.S. Well, good luck. You'll find it interesting, Jack. Living our lives. All y'all immigrants over here in the Philippines need to be getting your EDF investments up. No matter how Musk destroys the economy, EDFs will provide. Yeah. Craziest thing I've seen in Cebu bar. Shooting pool. She said, let's change tables. I said, why? Said, that old foreigner just shit his pants. Don't step in it. Whoa. Okay. So I'm going to put the link back up one more time, and we're going to post it. If you'd like to cam up, if you've got something you want to discuss, if you want to do whatever, just click on that link and we'll bring you online. You do have to have an active cam. You do have to show your face. Okay. And we'll go from here. Wow, 70 in the room. I think we got up to 77 at one time. We really appreciate it. I mean, this is a great, although I wish Mimi and Abel had come in. I had questions. I still have questions for him. I want to ask you guys, please, I have a very good video coming out tomorrow that I spent a lot of time putting together. I think that as an expat, you would be interested in it. Take a look at it. Let us know. And that'll be coming out tomorrow morning, our time, tomorrow, whenever, wherever you are. So I just don't know. A ranger for Kalina. Anyone. We're here, Ranger. Anyone can cam up. Sure. We can talk about anything. We certainly can. I think Jack and Maximus want to talk to Mimi. That's funny. Maximus, when are you coming back? Are you coming back anytime soon? Oh, gosh, I got to go get my exit clearance. Actually, no, you can do exit clearance online now. I'm going to take care of that so we can fly out. My 96-year-old grandma died of dementia this week, and the lovely caregiver stole her gold rings off her. What? Was that in the Philippines? Huh. So Living Our Lives says, I have 6,150 shares of SCHD, 4,000 4,000 of SCHG, 125 Carmen, NVIDIA, 1,000 shares, Plantier, 20 shares of SoFi so far. And if you, okay, great. Michael says, the funniest thing I saw was a drunk guy at one of my blowout party when we passed out, Colts singing video. He just fell out sleeping on the floor. Have you noticed more and more of the so-called Korean bars? We never have a problem with the Korean bars. We have never had a problem with their screen, but we don't film up and down the street. We don't point out the girls. We don't go to Walking Street that much. Okay, I mean, walking. I'm a married guy, and yeah, we go by. We have friends there, and we know girls that work down there and everything. But it's not an integral part of our life. We'll check it out. SCHD is a wise investment. No UK. Mimi, Jack is ready to come to the Philippines. I guess Abel might need to up his game a little bit. That's for sure. Maximus says, nice nest egg. There you go. Oh, let's see what else is going on here. Every now and then I have to just check and see different things. So, well, we're going to go and give it until 2 o'clock, 2 hours. So, and at an hour and 51, so we got 9 minutes left. And at that point, we'll call it quits because I got to check and see just what it is Arlene's got in store for me today. In fact, let me look over here. Nope. I wanted to check outside. Some dark clouds, but no rain. Jack says, are you inspired by Philly and the Philippines journey to the provinces at all? I mean, I guess you probably got better food options, but that Surigao Islands are pretty beautiful. Yeah, so Jack, where Philly is an 45-minute drive from our home in Mindanao, and then a ferry ride, I think an hour and a half ferry ride from there to Surigao Island. Am I inspired by it? Well, sure. I mean, I'm inspired by the beauty of it, but I'm not inspired enough to live there. And I have to agree. Welcome to Planet Dirt. I'd be bored. Philly seems to be enjoying it. He seems to, he and his family are adapting well, and that's great. I know Brian, all right, and I wish him the best. How long did it take you to familiarize yourself with the lifestyle, and how long did the learning curve take you till you felt you had control of your survival skills? Well, that's kind of interesting, actually. So, I never, I was always in control. I didn't have a problem. There was no learning curve. I didn't need to learn anything. I knew what was going on. I was fine. I was smart. I'm a world traveler. I was raised in Asia. Okay. I was born in the U.S. I didn't go to I went to Asia when I was 4 months old, I think. I didn't come to the U.S. until I was 14. So I didn't need to adjust, or so I thought. After the first year, I figured out, I don't know as much as I thought I knew. Maybe I was arrogant. Maybe I was, call it all kinds of different things. I thought if I lived a Western lifestyle in a Western area with Western this and that, then what big deal is it? But you know something? You can't do that. You cannot do that. I mean, we got a great mall here, but it's nothing like Mall of Asia. We got a great mall here. It's nothing like Greenbelt, okay, or Glorietta. Um, you know, you've got to leave your comfort zone. And then you find out real quick, you know, you find out real quick that life is not what you thought it was, that you do have to keep an eye out, that you do have to be aware, not be aware. I've never felt threatened here in the Philippines. Never. Not once. And we've been all up and down. We fly into Butuan. We take a bus from there into Kitchenerau. Through, and that's in Mindanao. We've never felt threatened. But we have felt aware. We know this. If we go to Manila, Arlene will drive to Manila, and I'm with her. And we drive to Manila, and I'm in the front seat. If a traffic enforcer sees me, we're going to get pulled over. It happens every damn time. Every time. And we know 500 pesos and we're on our way. There's always going to be some shit. We know that. We know there are pickpockets. We know there are thieves. We know there are scammers. But I guess that's all part of the process. Because we know it in Thailand. We know it in Cambodia. All right. Vietnam. All over. These things don't just shake out. I want to say it took 2 years to get to the point where I accepted it. I think the Philippines needs Taco Bell. You know what? Taco Bell is like the worst Mexican in the world. Nah, not the worst. I've actually had worse. But I would die for a Taco Bell here. Because I can guarantee you, I would be at Taco Bell twice a week. Remember when $2 at Taco Bell stuffed your belly nonstop? I can remember when I was in college, you could get like 10 tacos and a burrito for $2 or something. It was dirt cheap. That's all I'm saying. Maxim, yeah, pulled out all of my military TSP, threw it all into the stock market. My dividends are more in monthly average than my military retirement, but I auto reinvest. Yep, that's the way to do it. Jack C, thanks for your thoughts. I'm rooting for you, Jack. I'm rooting for you. My adjustment is my wife and her family. They take care of me well. In the U.S., I take care of everything for my wife. I'll hide in the shadows and let them take care. Well, you know what, Mike? It's very similar. In the province, I just, like a hermit crab, I hide out. The province, unless it's a family event, there's a bunch of family, or we're going to go out and find some barbecue or manok or anything like that, then I just hide out. I go, well, our house has a huge, huge master bedroom with an office, sitting room area also. We have a big screen TV, Netflix, internet. I can go up there and everybody knows, leave me alone. Oftentimes I just have them bring my food up there. Here, my head is always on a swivel, looking in glass car mirrors, just walk. Oh, yeah. But we're, you know what, Heath? You're not going to find us walking down side streets or even, anywhere if it's late at night. which is we're not out late. We're not the type of people that go out late at night. But let's say it's after 10 o'clock at night. On occasion, we're out. You're not going to find us anywhere that there's not a lot of people. We're going to be on a main road. We're going to be in a grab taxi coming back. All right. Yeah, Robot Ninja. You know what? I was thinking that there is a Taco Bell in Manila, one Ayala. A ranger for collectors, been to 78 countries and found out if you go looking for trouble, you'll find, or knock on the devil's door, someone will answer. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You can, you can find trouble no matter where. $25 to truly, wow, really, $25 to get stuff. 39-cent tacos, Mike. I just remember when I was in college, I lived on ramen noodles, Vienna sausages, Taco Bell, and a couple of other. And the most expensive part of my diet then was the stupid Vienna sausages. But I used to put them in my ramen noodles. Kraft macaroni and cheese, where you got 10 boxes for $1. They were 10 cents a piece. Focus on Asia. JR, how are you and Miss Cecilia doing? Thanks for dropping in. Those of you that haven't been to JR's channel, you should give it a look. Just don't go when you're hungry. Don't go to JR tracks down some great food. Dave says, when I was younger, I had a cast iron stomach for Taco Bell. Now in my mid-50s, I call it no bueno. All right. 420K. So Paul says, it's been a long time since I was in the Philippines, but I bet the iPhone has changed the oddity or uniqueness of the Filipinos. I think social media has made a huge impact. Absolutely. Not just iPhones, Android. I mean, they're all on Facebook and everything else. So, yeah. Okay, Mike. Good to know. Hillbilly Pyro, how are you? I took my woman to eat at a beach restaurant last night for the Hearts Day. It took an hour to get seated, another 3 hours. You know something? We went last night to the Royce to their buffet, which actually was really good. But I have never seen traffic in Clark like last night. Never. I mean, it literally took us 20 minutes to get out of the parking lot of the hotel casino. And the traffic, when we went into Clark, traffic was bumper to bumper, just the entire way. All right. From Perimeter Road, at the old main gate, all the way to the Royce, bumper to bumper, leaving Clark. When we left last night, it was bumper to bumper, almost, I'd say 3/4 of the way to the main gate perimeter, bumper to bumper. Coming in to Clark, it was crazy. White Castle, 9-cent burgers. Wow, I don't remember that. But we didn't have, you know what? I didn't have White Castle until I was in my 20s. We didn't have one in Charlotte, North Carolina, or in Chapel Hill. Tim, I don't even go out after dark. Exactly. JR says, thanks, Mike. All good. Just got back from Hong Kong last night. Good trip. Yeah, we're doing great, JR. I hope you guys had a great time in Hong Kong. Are there all you can eat buffets in the? Oh, yeah, tons of them all over the place. There's good buffets, bad buffets, Filipino. There's a place down the road. I won't eat there. Arlen loves it. It is a Filipino buffet, and they have a crap loads of Filipino food. Where we ate last night, they had some really good. What was it? Was it ribeye? I can't remember. But they had steak that they would cut off the spit like they do at a Brazilian steakhouse. They had sausage, ham. I mean, they had everything. They had a Chinese. They had, 30 or 40 different entrees, desserts. They had a great salad bar. You guys are going to laugh at me. All right. The one thing that I enjoy is a good salad bar. It is so hard. It's a pain in the ass, really and truly, to get the ingredients for a good salad at a reasonable price. But if I can get a whole buffet and it has a great salad bar, I'm all in on it. I missed the Sofitel. Arlen and I were talking about it last night. The Sofitel in Manila, I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's the best buffet. It was the best buffet in the Philippines. Hands down. Hands down. It's expensive, and it was incredible. And that was they called it Spiral, the Spiral Buffet, and it was in the Sofitel Hotel. You need to do a video of Kenny Rogers chicken. Not a fan of Kenny Rogers. Traffic was crazy in Toledo last night. Josh, yes, my house here in the Philippines looks like one of the old White Castle burger places. Can't miss the place. How you have to do is take a look at the average size of Filipinos these days, and that'll tell you. Yeah, JR, there are a lot. Okay, folks. You know what? We've had a great time. I really enjoy it. I'm sorry that I am sorry that Abel and Mimi did not show up. We invited him. He said he had time, but I guess he didn't want to answer the questions. All right. Tomorrow's video on the Peso, I think you guys are going to find that interesting. Take care. Have a great day. We hope to see you again. Happy Valentine's Day.